Yeah. Okay, so we're gonna join in Grubby soon, chat, and go over TA a little bit, as he's learning all the heroes in Dota from A to Z, and he's at TA now. He just did techies, so now he's learning TA, and we'll help him out a bit. This is gonna be fun. Oh, it will be fun, CCJ, for sure. I'm excited. Yeah, of course. I get to teach my favorite hero to someone who's been, you know, somewhat of a gaming idol to me when I used to watch a lot of Warcraft 3. Hello.
Hey, Waga, what's up, dude?
I'm good, I'm good. Just been playing some Grounded. Fun game. So, yeah, TA is obviously a hero that I'm very happy with. You can pick her at the screen here.
Okay. Yeah, I've heard you play her before.
Yeah, I started playing her a lot already in Dota 1, so she was always a hero that I enjoyed for very many years. But there's so much about this hero that is not necessarily beginner friendly. Like, she's very particular about positioning, but there's something nice about her too, though. She has protection, the refraction, as you already said something very nice as well. I saw when you were you know, thinking out loud a little bit, reading the skills, that you can precast refraction before you go into a fight. That's a huge thing. A very important thing that I would have told you had you not already mentioned it, but that's completely correct. And being able to foresee that, oh, soon I'm gonna be fighting, like I'm gonna go into this, precasting it so that you have it with about 6 seconds or so until it times out when you start the fight. That will be like sort of ideal, because you'll have basically 12 charges, defensive and offensive, that you can use.
Okay. And so to begin with, what is my role when I play Templar Assassin? What is my overarching goal? Am I there to delete supports from the back?
Yep, that's pretty much what she's the best at. She can dish out good damage on anyone, of course, but since she doesn't have any real good lockdown herself, she's the best at killing supports who have no means of escaping.
We need to hurry.
She's also very good with anyone in your team who's a disabler, so if you have any stunner in your team, working with them is very good. Okay, so I'm gonna just... You can write gold like this, and you just get money. The cheats are on in this lobby. So you can just buy like power treads and dragonlance for me. These are two items that, of course, I generally think having magic wand is good, and you can buy like one wraith band as well. But these are the two big items I want to see you get first.
Okay. Dragonlance has a really high percentual improvement for her relatively short range.
Yeah, exactly. Dragonlance is very good for just being able to hit without getting too close. And yeah, I'm just gonna spawn in some boys here. And so generally, when playing TA, a hard thing when you play her, do this, level up 5 for me. Write that command. Nice. So your skill build is generally gonna be first point in E. That's very useful, because then you get the ability to hit from far, and you get to spill. Because otherwise TA is shorter range than melee heroes until she has it. So it really sucks to not have it.
Well, technically, melee is 150 and she starts at 160.
Yeah, but there are some melee heroes who are even 200. So some melee heroes are literally longer range than her. Something like Mars, you know, would outrange her even while she's supposed to be ranged. So yeah, she's the shortest ranged hero until she gets side blades. But that's your first.
Can I ask a few questions that are not necessarily related to Templar Assassin? Now that I have you here anyway.
Yeah, of course.
Are you picking your first ability the moment you see your opponent's team and draft? Like, is there a situation where you would not go for E immediately? For instance, you're going for your own safe bounty rune here, but you realize that 3 people snuck up on you with smoke bombs, so you hold until you see you're getting ganked, and then you go refraction.
There's actually a lot to answer in that, and I will say generally players in high level hold their skill points on almost every hero until they know that they want to skill something. It's very common. I tend to not skill something until I'm ready. For instance, something TA can do with meld, you know the bounty runes in the start. You can skill meld, run over there and meld immediately. You can sit there and wait. And then you're going to have meld ready. And meld stacks with itself. So if the enemy come up to take the rune, you're invisibly waiting for them. You can give them -10 armor.
Oh shit.
Yeah, so you can actually do first blood attempts with this, but it's risky because if you skill meld level 1, it's a bit awkward to lane with. But it can be very good too. If you're laning against a melee hero, in any lane, meld can be very good. If you're laning against Axe here, for instance, then meld striking him would be a great way to just make him back off, because it does so much damage.
Okay.
So that's a completely valid point, and even skilling refraction, of course, can be good. But yeah, holding skill points is fine. Yeah.
Okay.
But let's say generally, Sideblade's level 1, then you go 2 points refraction afterwards, so you get the level 3. Refraction is a very funny scaling. I don't know if you... I didn't listen to all of your talk. If you think about it, because the damage increase is obviously quite nice, but it also gets more instances. So the ability gets, you know, kind of non-linearly stronger. It becomes very powerful. Level 1 refraction is literally just 75 bonus damage, but already on level 2, you're looking at 180 bonus damage. So you're getting stronger faster than 2x.
And then 325, and then 4
numbers. No, math on stream, but yeah, it's damage. It used to be easier. They changed the numbers. Now it looks weird. It used to be just a 100, so then it was 600.
We need to move.
But anyway, you put 2 points in refraction, and on level 5 or level 4, sorry, you will put 1 in meld, so that you have meld as well. Yeah.
Okay. And then usually you would go another point in Q, right? Like you don't generally like to go like 2-1-2 before your ult.
No, I would say generally 3-1-1 ulti, then final point in refraction is a very standard way to go about it. I would say that's the most generally good skill build, but there are so many skill builds you can do. The most general thing though is Sideblades don't benefit from being leveled very early, since it's just a tiny bit more range, and the spill range does increase, but it's not so important to get early. In the mid game though, that becomes tricky. So if you have 3-1-1 now, I can see on your screen. So I'm gonna walk at you with axe, walk near you. I want you to do something for me here. You know your attack range roughly now, right? You can hover over your stats and you see it. So I want you to meld strike him when he comes close to you. Meld is this ability where if you click at all without attacking a hero, right, you break it. So you're not allowed to move. It has to be an attack command on him.
Oh, so you want me to max attack meld hit, and if I misjudge, then I take a step and I don't get the effect.
Exactly, because if you try and do it now, I'm out of range, I think. Oh, you're actually in range. Okay. Yeah, it's because of the Dragonlance. Right, I forgot I gave you that.
I should drop it.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, so if you do it now, you're gonna miss from there.
This 240 won't work.
Yeah. So that's your range. You see, like within here, you can do it, but already there, you're gonna miss it probably.
Really?
Yeah, you can try.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought from here
actually,
I can hit it. But...
let me just do what the fuck and refresh.
Yeah,
exactly.
Right.
So you can try it out on the standing still target. Yeah. Do write what the fuck as well for me, and then you have you don't have to refresh then.
Oh, okay. From here, I'm too far. I see.
There you go.
Okay.
So that's the range that you have. So let's say he comes walking at you. Just try to meld strike him when he comes walking. This is just nice to try and do. Yeah, you see that missed. You're actually too early. This is just something nice to try and do before you go into a game, because that is probably the hardest part about playing TA. Actually landing meld strikes, you see? It's so easy to fail. So just getting to try that a little bit. I want you to get a chance to do it on an actual, you know, non-hostile target. And
it's
this
easier. It feels like it goes from further when you're walking away.
Yeah, it might feel a little bit more forgiving.
is under attack.
And one thing you can do as well that I do, so let's have you take the Dragonlance again and have nice range.
Enemy attacks your bottom tower.
There can be another problematic scenario about landing this, and that is like,
Enemy attacks your
give me
middle
1 second.
tower.
That told me my 5
Okay.
minutes are up.
Yeah, no, no, we got more than 5. So another problem can be if the target is fast, right? If they come running quickly, you can sometimes misclick it. You can keep just hitting him. If they have a lot of speed, you're landing nicely. One thing you can do if they are super fast, say we had something like this. Just gonna drop down a sentry here as well for you.
Oh, Weaver's fast, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Because Weavers, I know, nightmare from your Dazzle game.
No time.
Yeah, all my games.
Yeah,
Games Weaver.
he's a frustrating hero. He can be super frustrating for TA as well. Because when he's super quick, if he's like zigging around like this, it can be
Yeah.
hard to meld strike, right? A
Yeah.
trick you can do is
Yeah.
that you can actually attack move the ground.
No one.
If you're in range of a target, you can just attack move,
Oh.
and you will attack. So you can land it just by attack moving. That's super
that's a
neat
lot
to know.
easier.
Yes, it's nice to know. Only keep in mind though that if you see many targets, you will
just gonna
rely
choose
on the
by herself.
targeting for who it's gonna target, right? So if a creep is attacking you, you might meld strike the creep instead. But if it's just one guy, this is a super useful thing for making
know
it
the-
easier.
Do you know the priority rules? Is it just the nearest target?
It has to do with whether they are attacking you and how close they are. So proximity and their threat level, let's say. So if they're attacking you, they're higher threat level. If they're just walking towards you or not attacking, they're lower threat level. So you would be targeting the attacking guy. It's
Same
weird.
as WC3 then. So are
Yeah,
you saying
yeah.
that if there's 4 enemy heroes nearby and I do an auto attack with or without meld, and the nearest one and the 2 wingman are attacking the furthest one, and I'm in range of the furthest one, like they're doing like a fake attack on their ally, like how you change tower aggro, that's the one I'm gonna attack?
Yeah, could be. Yeah, I think
We
so.
have no
I think if
time
I'm
to
understanding right.
waste.
But
Yeah, so let's say for instance if you
you can have
if you're issuing commands with Weaver to attack your Crystal Maiden now.
yeah. Oh, sorry. He's. Oh, I select Maiden for some reason. It's okay. For some reason, Maiden gets selected quickly. This is hard to do.
Yeah, it's because you're able to select both. So that
Yeah,
when you're
yeah. It's because they're not
yeah.
my hero, so I get to select
it's
target.
annoying. Well, I can test that another time, but okay.
But yeah, it's just nice to know that if you're in a 1v1 somewhere and you want to meld strike them, you can actually just attack move the ground. This is also
Okay.
useful if you
Good to
have if you were to have like blink dagger, you can do item
this
blink
is
like
the
this
cutest
and you get
little
blink
thing.
dagger.
Okay.
If you were to blink in and
I
attack
know.
something and say that they're standing around, like we know Weaver is over here, right?
Oh yeah.
And we can we can see him. But if you were to blink in, then you wouldn't know exactly where he is. But with
We
blink
need to
dagger,
keep
you can
moving.
blink in, attack, move the ground with melds. Yeah, exactly. So it's a bit easier. Yeah, I use attack, move, ground a lot when I blink
Your
meld strike.
bottom tower
Okay.
is under attack.
Anyway, we got into sort of deep mechanics on meld strike, but a key thing I want to say here is that meld can be very easy to miss in the early game, and it has a huge impact if you miss it or not. I mean, that 5 minus armor with your refraction bonus damage, you hit super hard. So getting that minus armor on them is big. So I would say err on the side of caution and make sure they are really close enough, or that you are really close enough to the target when you want to meld strike someone.
Got it.
Go, Sega.
But generally, you are a range hero, you're not super tanky, so more often than not, you're just attacking from far away and, like making sure to play on your range and get value from it. You're not really gonna be like a Sven running in and frontlining.
Come on, Sega.
You wanna hit...
Am I a finisher? I'm not a finisher.
She can finish people in one hit, so in a way she is. She generally doesn't initiate the fights. TA tends to be, when she sees a squishy target, she goes on that and kills it.
Do I hide out of vision?
You can. If you have Blink Dagger, hiding out of vision is definitely fine. A lot of times you will do that when you have Blink, and then you just see a chance to blink in with your refraction on cooldown and about to come on off cooldown, you know? Like you have your ideal timing to go in, then you blink in Meld Strike and you're pretty fine. A nice thing to know as well, I don't know if you know this, Blink Dagger is a particularly nice item for you because even if this wasn't what the fuck right now, you would still be able to blink right now.
Yes, because I didn't take damage.
Yes.
Exactly. So TA is very good blink user, but you need to just prioritize blinking on the squishy guys that you can kill quickly. Outside of that, blink shouldn't necessarily be your second item though. I think Dragonlance Power Treads is great, but then going into Desolator is my personal favorite item for TA. It's an amazing item. That gets stronger as well as you kill people. It actually gets more damage every time you kill someone.
Yes.
Exactly. And Deso works super well with all your damage because minus armor is just wonderful for TA.
Agreed.
Minus 11.
Yeah, and that's nothing. Like she can minus armor so much since Meld stacks with itself. This also means that you're one of the best in the game at taking Roshan. Not really solo, but if you get to call your friends over, you kill Roche very fast with this minus armor.
Okay. Am I position 2 or 1?
She can be both. I prefer playing her as post 2, but that's just her, let's say, call it traditional place. Right now, she's more popular as a post 1. So she can definitely go safe lane. She can definitely go mid lane. Both of them are fine. I think safe lane is probably the easier one to get used to, an easier one to play. Mid lane is a bit more technical because you rely so heavily on side blading. Which, if we go to mid lane, actually, let's just walk over there.
Why walk? And we can dagger.
True. So, if you're in the lane like this, you have level 1 sideways, you can try and hit on the creep. And there you go. Like, exactly there, you're gonna hit the queen. That's basically what you do during the laning stage. You let's kill these creeps, and when next creep come,
does it work on allied creeps?
It does. Like you can sideblade from denies. Yes. Okay, so when this creep wave comes, you're always gonna try and angle a sideblade, and you get in this funny thing where good. You can do it from that one too. Yeah, exactly. So you can deny and last hit. And that's also a nice thing. You can, if you see a creep is low, one of your creeps, and the enemy creep is low, you can get both the deny and the last hit by going for the side blade. So that's super neat. Yeah, it's very satisfying. And yeah, lining up so you hit the closest, so you splash on a lot of creeps is good. Killing creeps fast is good. I think we talked briefly about that when I was with you last time too. How it gives you time to make, you know, more things happen. And in general, like trying to always land the side blade onto as many things as possible is a good thing to aim for. Something worth also mentioning before you go and play her is if you follow the queen.
Okay.
Yeah, like. You want to spend a lot of time getting these boys. Get the Ancients? Hell yeah. And
nice.
Ancients are... TA is arguably the best Ancient clearer in the game. Arguably.
On the move.
At least clearing stacks early game, she is fantastic at it.
People don't stack for me, so I'm gonna have to stack it myself. But I'm playing from safe lane and they're far away.
Yes. So I'm gonna say that there's people might not stack for you, but in general, once the laning stage, you know, after 10 minutes or so are over bottom, making a move over, you know, farm through the jungle, farm towards your ancients, farm them, and then go and push the enemy safe lane. This is a very natural, like, move to make from your safe lane.
Which level would I do that at?
Farming, or when you would move over to the enemy side?
Yeah, when do I leave safe lane?
As long as...
do that.
Yeah, as long as you feel happy in the lane and you're getting to farm the lane and farm the jungle, you don't really need to leave. But it feels like, oh, they're pressuring me a lot, this is kind of hard. TA can jungle quite early. At level 7, I would say, you can very comfortably like make the move through the jungle and farm your way. You don't have to stress, but you can go through.
Okay. What would your pattern be? Because like right now I kind of just randomly pick. So like let's say if I somehow started with this one, then I go to this and I'm thinking like, yeah, it's on the way, but it's kind of small.
You actually, yeah, this is a good thing to mention. Small camp can be tricky for TA. Because you rely on your side blades and the small camp can break you, it's actually super annoying to farm sometimes because they break you and you can't side blade and it takes a while. It can almost be more easy to clear the medium than big camps sometimes for TA. At least when it comes to speed. Like the value you're getting for farming small camp on TA is kind of bad. So generally, if you're level 7, move towards these. All these camps are good. All these camps are fine. Yeah, so you can go through like that exactly, move up here. And anytime you have where you can stack, pay attention to the clock. If it's like, 50 seconds is coming up, pretty much anything you farm, you can stack it and then keep farming it. Because as a range hero, you can farm camps without really taking damage, right? Especially with refraction. You just pull it back and hit. So if you farm this camp now, like, exactly, that would be sort of how you do it. Sorry, I'm like in the way with Queen taking the aggro.
Yeah.
But yeah, you just pull it, hit it, exactly. Like, you're not gonna lose much HP. So if this was a 2-time stack, you're probably not losing much more HP. And exactly, the efficiency comes in to chasing after them right where you're able to hit and run after them. But yeah, so anytime you have 50 seconds coming up, make sure you stack. That's gonna get you so much more gold when you play TA. And then, yeah, once you have
go ahead.
I was gonna say, once you have Dragonlance and Power Treads and a Magic Stick, basically, you have your basic items. Also make sure you buy this early, Blightstone, for the Desolator. The Blightstone is just good value on its own, so you don't have to wait with buying that. That can be a pretty early purchase.
Oh yeah.
Like, once you have Power Treads, you can buy a Blightstone already. It's just good. But once you have your Dragonlance and your Power Treads, I would say that will sort of be the time that you want to pressure the enemy safe lane tower-ish.
Okay.
Generally.
Which one would be the neutral items I would be happiest with?
For TA, yeah, let's go over a little bit. So for tier 1, there's actually quite a few good ones for tier 1. But Possessed Mask and Pigpole are probably 2 of the best ones.
Yeah, just stats.
Stats. I mean, we like stats. All stats is kind of nice too for us since we use so much mana in refraction. And
Occult Bracelet, you mean? Or you mean Pigpole?
Pigpole, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, Occult Bracelet is really good because once you get hit, you get mana regen, and it still gives you some stats. That's fine.
Do you know if that works? Does refraction still count as being hit?
Yeah, it counts as being hit. It's just them issuing an attack on you.
Yeah.
And even something like Arcane Ring can be fine. It just solves mana issues a bit, so that can be fine. The items you don't really like: Shovel, Seeds. Lance of Pursuit is not really good for us, honestly. It's cute, but it's not really good. Broom Handle can be okay because it has damage. We like damage. And Tumbler's Toy is pretty bad, but it can be fun to jump on people and melt strike them because you close the distance quicker, right? So it can be it can do something, but it's not really great. A Fairy Trinket is garbage. We do not want Fairy Trinket. That's the worst one, actually, because that's just a bit of HP and mana cost reduction. We don't have any real spell damage until we get our ulti, which ulti can be spell amped, but it's not really a damage source we want to count on.
Need to keep moving.
Is Specialist Array good for us at all?
Yeah, Specialist Array is okay. Yeah, for tier 2. The biggest items, though, is not Specialist Array. It's Grove Bow. I will tell you, that's what you're going to have to look out for. If you see Grove Bow, you want that badly, because it gives you range. So pair Grove Bow.
Holy shit!
Oh boy!
Did you see what the
he has what the fuck mode. That's why. I turned him off. Okay. He doesn't get to do that. He's like vibrating over there.
Jesus.
Yeah, Aquila is of course good. Well, you dropped here actually. You just found one of the good neutral items.
Yeah.
Aquila is totally fine. Grove Bow is best though, I would say, for tier 2. And Brigand's Blade
range
is
thing.
very strong. Brigand's Blade does damage based on their missing HP. And that damage is physical damage. You have minus armor, so you actually make that damage stronger. It used to be magical, then they changed it. But
So you would say Brigand's Blade is better than Dagger of Bristol?
The enemy
yeah, I would, because Dagger of Bristol, it's a bit of a tricky one. It can be great for a short period of time, but you're still paying a bit of HP, and the passive gain on Dagger of Bristol is only 15 attack speed. Like, you have to use it to get anything beyond that. And yeah, 40 damage is nice, but I would actually say Brigand's Blade is more value overall, because you have always 10 attack speed, 10 damage, and you're always going to get a lot of extra damage from the HP they miss. Like, when they're down to 90% HP missing, they're taking 90 extra damage, right? In that one hit. So it's good for finishing people off.
That's pretty sick.
Uh,
We haven't got the talents yet, or how to use R.
Yeah, exactly. So we can do talents. Talents first. Talents. Is there any anything that's intuitive? Have you looked at her talents at all?
No, I
what's your-
didn't look at it yet in the demo mode. I'm looking now. So the psionic traps deal damage if they've been fully armed. They deal more damage. And
Takes-
they deal.
Yeah.
Your bottom
Takes
tower
4
they
seconds for
only
them to
deal
fully
damage.
arm, right? So otherwise they don't do anything.
They don't do anything. Okay, so that seems okay, but I have no concept yet of how often we're going to be able to trap and damage people. Refraction damage seems better to me.
Yes, that is the better one. That's the one you should be taking. Psionic trap damage is very strange to play around, and you don't want to do that. Refraction damage, it's straightforward, it's easy. You're pretty much always going to have refraction up, so it's almost like a 25 damage talent. Not really, but, you know, it's close. You're going to use refraction a lot. If you ever have mana issues on this hero, it's completely fine to buy, because with this build, I just realized going Power Treads, Dragonlance, and Desolator, you can struggle with mana a lot. It's completely fine if you want to go for a Falcon Blade for mana as a safe lane tier. That's a very good item. I'm actually quite sure I would go for it before my Dragonlance if I played safe lane tier right now. Probably Falcon Blade into Dragonlance.
Just for more farming.
Yeah, it's great value. It's buffed recently too, so the item just feels good. A lot of people are playing it now. Yeah, it's a feel good item, and you don't have to worry so much about your mana pool.
top tower.
But yeah, back to talents. Refraction, completely correct choice. That's the right one.
And then we get 120 range from E. That's really nice.
Yes. Very good.
So I'll probably get the range. And then for level 20, more armor reduction. You said it self-stacks. It has a casting cooldown that is less than half of the armor reduction duration. So you can have up to 3.
Yep.
And 3 armor, therefore, can mean 6 or 9. Melt, dispels.
Yeah, so Meld Dispels is a self-dispel. You get dispelled, not the target.
I'd
Meld
say the
Dispels...
armor.
Yeah, I would say for you, definitely go for the armor. I, more often than not, go for Meld Dispel when I play.
Have a
But
good day, sir.
it's also
What are
very
you looking
useful. It's
to
useful to
remove?
know exactly all the things that you can dispel, but something like Dust can be dispelled. And a lot of damage over times that eat your refraction charges. If you're playing as Jakiro, for instance, and he dual breaths on you, or anyone else with fast damage ticking abilities they put on you, like Battle Hunger from Axe, for instance.
Hold on a sec, sorry. Let me call you back.
Hello?
Yo,
Yep. Okay.
sorry, you became a bit robotic.
Yeah, I heard that on your end as well when you said that.
Okay.
Okay.
Cool.
So any fast damage taking abilities that you can dispel
We need to move.
are super nice to get rid of, because then you protect your refraction charges, right? So Meld Dispel can save refraction charges. You can see if Axe Battle Hungers you, that
Gotta
ticks
get
pretty
moving.
fast. I'm just gonna spawn in if Axe cast your refraction, no? Like this is gonna tick down your refraction very fast. You see that? So
Once per second.
yeah, so
Yeah.
and that's not even one of the fastest DPSs that you can dispel. But if you have that on you, Meld Dispel would dispel that. So if he casts it again now, then you meld. Refraction saved. And
that's
now
nice.
it can block more valuable, big sources of damage from you, like Queen coming in, and you took nothing. Look at that.
Oh yeah.
I like how you just killed him as well.
How did he die?
You got an attack out because you got pushed by Queen ulti, so you
Okay.
auto attacked. You just murdered him. He was level
That's
1,
weird.
man. That poor guy.
Weird.
Um,
Oh, he was level 1. Okay, yeah.
yeah, he was weak. But yeah, I would say you can, if you identify that, hey, there's something annoying in this game I want to dispel, take the dispel talent. Completely fine.
Okay.
But
Okay.
meld armor is more easy value. You're guaranteed to get value out of it as long as you just use meld. Whereas meld dispels takes a bit of knowing when it's good. Some games it's trash, some games it's amazing.
Understood. And then for level 25, 1 second melt hit bash.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a
Okay.
bash.
Or what the 7 refraction instances?
Mm-hmm.
Crazy.
Any idea which one you think is better?
I'll go with the refraction, I think.
Yeah, that's your pick. 95% of the time, I will take that one as well. The only
That's great.
5% where I would take Meld Bash is if I'm against super elusive heroes and I want to kill them. They are running away from me. I'm against like Puck and stuff, and they are super hard to catch. Or spirit heroes like Storm and Ember. But I would say for anyone except like very, very, very experienced TA players, take Refraction every single time. It's better.
Okay.
So yeah, Refraction talent, and at that point, you can already see if you precast Refraction and then go in with it, you have 26 charges in one fight, right?
Crazy.
Like, that is hard to go through. They can hit you all they want. They cannot stop you.
Can you
So-
even die with that?
You can, especially to illusion heroes with a lot of units, but I mean, Queen here, she's not really doing much work, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, once you have that talent, you're a lot stronger. It's a big power spike. And of course you have much more damage output, because it's not just a defensive one. It's you now have a lot of charges to attack through as well.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's
Mhm.
crazy.
Yeah. So for talents, that's pretty much it. Then you just take the rest when you want. The refraction can be cast while disabled. Sounds OP to some people. Oh, dreaming. It sounds good to some people, but the range is almost always better, the side blade attack range. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Let's talk a little bit about the trap usage.
Yeah. So obvious places to trap could be the bounty runes,
Yes.
any gold and any power runes. You could check for Roshan, I guess. Maybe check for secret shop, enemy ancient stack. Do they see the trap? No.
They are invisible. Traps are visible when placed, but become invisible very quickly after. So they're visible until about 2 seconds in, and then they're invisible. They have a bit of a fade time.
And can you see them with true sight?
Yes, they can reveal them, and they give 25 gold if they kill them. So they get a bit of gold for killing a trap. Okay, so yeah, you're definitely right. All those places are good. I would also add any ramp is value. Any form of
any
ramp,
ramp.
because you're more likely to have enemies running on choke points in the map. Instead of controlling
Right.
this entire open area, which would require, 20 traps, we just put one on that ramp, one on the ramp over here maybe. We can see when they enter the area. So any form of high ground ramps, you can also have a little bit of high ground vision from them. They give you a bit of vision. It's super nice. But Roche, 100%, you should have one there. You can have 5, 8, or 11 traps based on your level and ulti.
Okay.
And you can always see how many you have placed. There's an indicator for you. So that's a nice thing for being able to tell.
Okay.
And generally, the traps, you don't put a trap on an enemy and immediately pop it unless you have no better choice. I mean, that's a very minor slow. If we bring over one of the heroes here, let me just blink over the Weaver. Here he is. He's back. If you put down a trap and insta slow him, like, let's see if we can even see his, like, the slow is there, but let's give him power treads as well, so he's like an average hero item. Bots item. Good. Okay.
It's
So
pretty
now
good. 30%.
yeah, I mean, it's
by
a
the way,
slow, but it's
Do you use D to explode them, or do you click the trap? Because it does the nearest trap.
Yes, I generally box select immediately after I put down a trap and activate it.
Yeah.
Sorry, I put a trap as well. It's bugging out a bit because we have 2 TAs.
Oh.
But yeah, it's gonna activate the closest trap. The hotkey is nice if you feel like it's weird to select the trap, but I avoid doing it because there's one downside about this, and it might be a bit far-fetched. But if you get silenced, you can't activate this. You should be able to, because the traps are activatable, right?
The traps are not silenced.
Yeah, if you're stunned or you're silenced, you can't use your hotkey for that. So it's good to get used to selecting the traps, just as a, correct behavior. Because once you're disabled, you'll wish that you're used to always selecting them.
Yes. Okay.
So yeah, but generally you want to try and have the traps prepared, and then if the enemy get baited to play to that area, you activate that trap, and once they're slowed, you put a trap where you think they're gonna run, right? Like you put something behind them, and you start chasing them once they're slowed.
Yeah. So apparently you can pre-control group your traps.
Yes, you can. You can. I don't really play with my traps control grouped really, unless there's a trap that I think the enemy are gonna go to. I just like temporarily control group it.
Oh yeah.
If I think like, oh, they're gonna go there and I want to be ready, I control group it so I can insta jump there.
Okay.
Finally, one thing about the traps is that the shard is quite good, but should probably not be an early purchase for you. Yeah, you need to be ag shard, exactly.
So it's good, but you don't want to get it early because it's going to affect your farm.
I think to get the most value out of it, you need to play around it so much. I don't recommend you getting it early because it's 1400 gold that could be spent on DPS, could be you getting closer to Black King Bar, which again I should mention is a huge item for you to buy next. If your inventory looks like it does now, you want a BKB 9 out of 10 cases. That's a TA item. You blink in with BKB on and start murdering. Very hard to stop TA when she does that.
Okay.
So it's a fantastic thing to have. Yeah, I'm not sure.
Black King Bar.
Yeah, you got it. Exactly, so like that. You blink in with refraction up, BKB pop immediately, and melt strike, murder. You said it right when you were demoing the hero. She struggles against magic damage more than physical damage.
Oh, yeah.
Because we're already an agi hero, so our armor is decent. She has pretty high HP for an agi hero, actually. And we have refraction, which blocks damage. So slow attacking physical dealers like Sven, not that worrisome for us. Fast damage instances like Venomancer, Viper, Huskar, anything that's quick and magic, not fun.
How do we counterplay those? Because chances are I'm gonna get some counter picks.
Yeah, pretty much the item you just activated there. That BKB is gonna be the dream when you get it. Until then,
my refraction charges entirely.
Yeah,
magic.
exactly. You dispel a lot of stuff when you activate BKB, and you can't get stuff applied to you, right? If you have damage over times on you, BKB can dispel the same way Meld can. Meld Dispel is again one way to counter these things. So level 20, you get a bit stronger against them. But the biggest advice I have is try not to play towards the heroes that counter you, and jungle a lot. This is a farming hero. You farm quite fast, get some item advantage, and then when you feel comfortable, like I have I have my blink, I have my Deso blink, power treads, I got some murdering items. You can think about fighting more. BKB is going to be crucial for team fights. TA is not very good in 5v5 fights because of how many things there might be that want to go on you. Like everyone wants to kill TA in the fight. She gets targeted pretty high because she's so high damage.
Yeah. Okay. So let's get into a game soon, but we still need to talk about Scepter.
Yes. Yeah, Scepter. Scepter is an item that
We have no
honestly,
time to
most of the
waste.
time you probably don't want to buy, and you're not gonna use that much. It's super fun though, so if you find yourself kind of already winning the game and you want to have a fun item to experiment with, beyond that, Scepter is great. But
Okay.
Scepter, I will say, is an item that requires a lot of practice to be good at using. I played it so much that I love Scepter and I buy it a lot, but it's sort of a self-fulfilling prophecy that Scepter is a good item on TA. The more you play it, the better it will be, and it will really start to feel amazing. But in the beginning, oh my god, dude, there's a lot to think about. Because you gotta leave traps in places you want to go to. So leaving one trap in base always is pretty basic, so you can always jump to fountain.
Oh, yeah.
And then having traps on every lane, so you can jump to every lane and take the farm. But I would recommend not going for Scepter in your learning of TA. But if you find that you like the hero and want to play it more, then Scepter can be great to play around with.
But what about that trick you showed on
Yeah,
screen when I
that
was
cool
watching?
trick. Yeah, exactly. I want to see you do the.
Revelations.
We can see if you can. We can see if you can do it.
Wait, I did get it.
Oh, did you do you quick? And we don't have global shop right now, right? So yeah,
No,
you
we
did
don't.
it.
But
You
it's
did it.
weird. It only said that I bought it
The battle waits
when
for no one.
it only said I bought it by the time I arrived. I thought I
Yes.
failed actually.
Yeah. You did it though. You were spamming the buy button when you jump over. Yeah. Do it one more time.
Okay. Do I have a trap at the other.
Yeah,
Okay,
you need
I
to be
have- I
lined
have a
up.
trap.
Think of a straight line between you and the shop and the trap, of course. So the shop
here,
shop
maybe.
is here. His AoE is here. Yeah. And then just spam the quick buy when you jump over. It's a funny bug that so many people don't know about. Yeah, you did it again. Very nice. I'm very proud.
When you showed that trick, I was like, oh my god, how often does he use that in a real game?
I've literally done it once in my entire life. So this is the bit of useless knowledge. Every lesson needs to come with some useless knowledge.
Yeah.
You know, this is
Keeps it
useless
fun.
knowledge 101. But
Yeah, and the other useless knowledge which you gave me, I'm very eager to try it as well. My eyes opened wide with glee when you said first ability meld, stand on a bounty rune, and then.
oh yeah,
trap them with
melding on a bounty rune. I mean, so generally, I'm not sure how it is in you know if all MMRs are similar, but generally, if we are radiant, right? Imagine we are
Yeah.
radiant, then
Yeah.
then usually we get these two runes in high MMR. Like that's usually the we
Really?
get these two, the enemy get these two. It's
Why?
usually how it goes because usually you move as a lot of people and people go in contests your offlaner tend to be stronger. It's honestly the reason. Your offlane heroes are
Yeah.
usually stronger level 1 than a lot of safe lane heroes. Like
Yeah.
Faceless Void level 1, not the most impressive hero. Mars level 1, you know, with Spear, he can get some first bloods going.
Because Faceless wants to
Wherever
be on one
I
of these two because he won't make it to top lane to block the creeps sometime if he goes for this one.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the carries usually don't want to come over all the way. You can 5-man for, you know, the runes. But yeah, so what I'm saying is...
They don't want to start with like a bad farming setup where they're hurt.
No.
So this is Void level 1. He's just going to want to be here.
Yeah, carries
you abuse
carries
that.
gonna carry. Yeah.
Yeah.
They want to be close to their safe lane, so they farm. So carries are usually not going to be down here, because if they are here for the rune, if they're here when the rune spawns, they can't make it to top in time. They're
Exactly,
literally too
okay.
late. So they need to start
What about-
leaving early.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah,
So-
the meld play is really funny. If you expect the enemy will come and contest, I mean, if you see you're against some melee hero in the off lane anyway, then you're completely, you know, allowed to do this meld thing. Just go and sit on a rune like this. It's funny, but it's
Forward.
it's also. Oh, I should have you do this actually. Wait, can you move this hero? Or can you?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Good. Walk up and meld strike the Crystal Maiden without skilling anything. Now you have no range. So this is gonna be very short range. You need to be
Oh my
exactly.
God.
It's super short
okay.
range. Okay. So I'm teaching you something here. For if you do the meld thing,
Yes.
then you're gonna come to lane with no point side blade, no point refraction, and you have meld. The way you do it is by literally running up and hugging the enemy, melding them, and hitting them and run away again. So if you're against a melee hero, you can meld strike him, but you need
Just
to be...
make sure you're never ever gonna miss, right?
You literally like place yourself on them to do it. That's how you do it. Yeah.
Okay.
Because
I have bash. Yeah.
and that's probably one of the hard things about TA is that your meld range is dynamic to your Psyblade and whether or not you have Dragonlance.
Yeah, I got
So being able
Let's
to
go.
land meld reliably is kind of hard at first. But obviously now you have long range. If you equip, can we get
Time to move.
neutral items too?
Yeah. Just type it item and then the neutral item.
Oh, really? It works? Oh, yeah.
And away.
Okay, so yeah, if you have equipped the Grove Bow, like the range you have with this, if you have Dragonlance Grove Bow, just to let you try it as well, like meld striking with this feels
I'll not
amazing.
argue.
You can hit people from so far away. This is truly the reason why this item can be worth keeping, even in like even when there's a tier 3 item available, you might still want to have this.
760. What?
Yeah, look at that range, and you can of course meld strike from anywhere you can hit from. You can meld strike from there. So I mean, now you're very comfortable. So getting
Yeah.
Grove Bow is a huge thing for you.
Okay.
My mind are as one.
Let's jump into a game.
Yeah, let's go, dude.